Our next speaker is Dr. Beth Neary from the Wisconsin Environmental Health Network, who's going to speak on the health effects of noise and PFAS.
Good afternoon. I'm a pediatrician, so I care deeply about the health of children, especially. I practiced here in Madison for 15 years. I recently retired, and now I'm dedicating myself to advocating for environmental issues related to children. So, the Air Force concluded in its draft report that locating the F-35s would have an extremely negative impact on children, people of color, and low-income individuals who live in dense populations in and around the airport. Approximately a dozen K-12 and 15 child care centers are in and around that area where the most intense noise would be predicted. So from my experience and research, I think that many of Madison's children will be harmed by the intense noise generated by these military jets that have no need for placement in a dense residential community. The early years of a child's life are critical for the development of hearing. And according to the Office of Disease Prevention at the National Institute of Health, children's ear canals continue to develop during the early years of life. Loud noises during this stage of development can permanently damage their hearing. And the noise that's created by the F-35s is an impulse sort of sound, okay? Let me explain that to you. So impulse noise can really cause severe damage because it's different than what we call continuous loud noise. And the body actually has a reflex mechanism which protects the ear when exposed to loud, continuous noise. The reflex is somewhat slow, and what it does is it dampens the actual eardrum so the sound doesn't get through. However, these sounds are so quick that this reflex doesn't work, and that's why this is more damaging to the ear. The health impacts of noise pollution include, even for adults, overproduction of stress hormones, interruption of sleep, ringing in the ear, negative effects on mental health, increased blood pressure, and impacts on cardiovascular disease. But for children, the impacts are far greater. The heightened noise interruptions can lead to delayed speech development, reduced attention, impaired concentration, long-term memory issues, and decreased math and reading scores. So the EIS includes a section on the impact of noise, citing studies that find a linear relationship between chronic aircraft noise exposure and impaired reading, comprehension, and recognition memory. Like I said, there's a dozen K-12 schools and 15 daycare centers in that area. And according to the City of Madison's 2018 Neighborhood Indicators Project, the kids who live in the Truax neighborhood are struggling even before they get to school, with only 48% of them considered to be kindergarten ready. One of the schools closest is Hawthorne Elementary, where most children are low income and of color. In a city that's struggling to overcome persistent racial disparities, flying an intensely noisy aircraft over their elementary school more frequently will only exacerbate these disparities. So if we truly care about children, we will act to protect them by opposing these. And let me speak for a few minutes about the PFAS issue. I recently testified before the state capitol as they were debating some bills, 772 and 773, last week, and this is what I said to them. PFAS is an emerging public health issue, toxic at extremely low levels, parts per trillion. We don't look at parts per trillion in any other chemical. They're highly persistent. They accumulate in humans and they remain in the body for long periods of time. Let me give you some examples. PFOA, it's anywhere from 2 years to 10 years. PFAS, 3 years to 27. And PFHXS, that's the one in the firefighting foam, 4.7 years to 35 years. There's no way to remove them from the human body. They're bound to proteins, and very little is actually excreted. For me, as a pediatrician, I am so concerned about this for our children. And here's what really troubles me. PFAS is found in breast milk. It isn't just found in breast milk. It's concentrated in breast milk. If a mom drinks water that contains this amount of PFAS, the amount in her breast milk will actually be higher than what's in her water. That's a very troubling fact to me as a pediatrician. So when I look at what's on the website from the CDC, they say, what are the problems with PFAS? It interferes with the body's natural hormones, thyroid hormones, testicular, estrogen. It increases cholesterol levels, it affects the immune system, and increases the risk of some cancers. If you were at the Capitol the other day, you would have heard the people from Marinette, Wisconsin, whose water has been contaminated by the Tyco's plant up there, tell you of all their health problems. And honestly, it mimics the C8 study that was identified in the movie Dark Waters. And those facts are high cholesterol, ulcerative colitis, testicular cancer, kidney cancer, preeclampsia, and elevated blood pressure during pregnancy. The C8 study also showed that participants had 5 times the amount of PFOA in their blood as compared with the rest of the population. So, to truly help protect public health, we need to say no to the F-35s for many issues. The noise issues, ding ding, as well as the PFAS issues. Thank you very much.